Hey friends, welcome to this class called Anywhere Yoga. It is my hope that you could use this practice literally anywhere, be that at the office, at the airport, in a waiting room, at a park, anywhere. I'm trying to sequence this class in such a way and be clear with my words in such a way that hopefully you won't even need the visual aid of the screen. You can pop in some earbuds and just follow along. I'm going to do half the practice seated here and half the practice standing just in front of my seat. But if you happen to be somewhere there is standing room only, you could do all of the poses that I'm going to do seated, standing, without too much grief. So take a moment to drop into yourself. If you're sitting, feel the seat beneath your bottom as you extend up through the length of your spine. And if you are steady enough to do so, and if you're in a place that you're comfortable enough to do so, let's take a moment and close our eyes. And we'll just take a moment to connect with the flow of our breath, acknowledging what a huge part the breath plays in any practice, be it a short, simple, anywhere practice such as this, or a longer, more pointed mat practice elsewhere. Work to deepen your breath so that you can feel it expand to the very edges of your rib cage, front and back, out to the sides, up to the top, and full releases. We'll take 3 more like that. With your next inhale, eyes open or closed, you're going to start to roll your shoulders back and tip your chest open. Chin might start to lift up. And then as you exhale, draw your chin back down to your chest, press your shoulder blades away behind you, round your upper back. Let's go forward and backward like that about 5 or 6 times. Inhale to roll your chest open, lift your chin up. Exhale, press between your shoulder blades, round your upper back, chin into your chest. Follow your own breath for about 4 more. And feel the way that all the muscles that hold the front and the back of your spine get a soulful and purposeful massage as you breathe. Because this is personal to each of us, we can just notice if there's any particular places that are feeling really tender. If this is a movement that you love, you're going to stay with it. And if you'd like to layer on with me, the next time you inhale and sit up, you're going to start to spiral your spine in a circular motion. And so what I mean by that is feel the weight of your seat beneath you and allow your spine to start to stir circles around the base of your pelvis until it stirs all the way up to the space of your chest and your shoulders. And you might even loose it off through the muscles of your neck so your head can start to spiral in the same or opposite direction. You are welcome to stay in one direction if that is the intuitive way that your body wants to move, or welcome yourself at some point to come back and align into center and spin the other way, which might feel a little counterintuitive, but also maybe really relieving to some muscles you didn't realize needed to be massaged into that way. 2 more big breaths. Friends who are just staying with the forward and backward flossing of cat-cow, stay with it for 1 more. And we'll all meet back in center slowly. Sit up tall through your spine, rest your shoulders back and down, rest your arms down to the sides, and wait for an inhale to stretch your arms all the way up toward the sky. For the first one, use an exhale and swim down to the sides, releasing the full breath to the release of your arms until fingertips again point toward the floor beside you. Inhale, lift all the way up. And this time when you get to the top, take your left hand around your right wrist and exhale your upper body a little over to the left, stretching and opening your whole right side. We're gonna go back and forth between sides a couple of times. So inhale, lift up through center and change your grasp. Right hand around left wrist, and exhale a little over to the left. Stay for an extra breath. Feel this long stretch all the way through your left side. And let's change a little bit quicker. Inhale up through center, left around right. Exhale, side stretch over to the left. Inhale up through center, right fingers around left wrist. Exhale over to the right. Inhale all the way up through center and swim your hands down to the sides. You're going to bend your elbows significantly and place your hands to the backs of your hips. Again, lift through the length of your spine so you're feeling tall and bright. Give a soft loop to your shoulders, up and back and down, so your chest starts to really pop open. And you're either going to be feeling a big old stretch across the front of your chest and through your shoulders here, or if you want to layer on, you'll thread your fingers together behind you. Keep your elbows nice and bent so you can kind of start to draw them toward one another behind your back body. And then it may or may not feel good to lift your gaze and even start to straighten your fist down behind you. Friends who are seated as I am might find that your fist starts to make contact with your seat, so that's a perfect place to stop. Take one more full body breath here. Good. When your exhale comes, release. Give your wrists a little shake. Pressure on your feet to stand up slow. Keep a flex in your knees. And we're going to give ourselves a really drapey forward fold. Now, it matters not if you can ever touch the floor, but I would love you to feel your feet make contact with the earth, whether you're in shoes or not. Try to lift and then release all 10 of your toes so that you can feel the spread of your toes and the balls of your feet. Give a soft shake to the crown of your head so the muscles of your neck get really extra soft and released. And for some of us, it even feels good to have a tiny bit of a sway or a little pedal of our legs, or even reach for opposite forearm or elbow with opposite hand. Let's take one more full body breath here. Good. When your exhale comes, release your arms to hang heavy if they aren't already. Press your flat palms to the fronts of your shin bones, just beneath your knees. And when your inhale comes, lengthen your heart forward so your back starts to become flattish like a table. Lift the crown of your head forward, chest pulls forward. And then wait for an exhale and again drape. I like to leave my knees super soft as I do this. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, pull your chest forward, lengthen through all the muscles of your back body, open through your chest. Exhale, drape and release. Good, let's do it 1 more time. Inhale, pull length through your spine. Exhale, slow release. Knees stay really bent and flexed. Use an inhale, roll and round and come all the way up to stand. And exhale, feel the weight of you stand down through your feet. Now, if you have been seated, let's take a step forward. We'll center our weight into our left foot, and you're going to take a step back with your right foot about 1 meter to 1.5 meters. Keep your feet wide so there's still a hip distance, and your back foot is going to turn at about a 45-degree angle for a shortened version of our Warrior One. We're going to start to bend through our left knee. So left knee balances right over our left ankle. All 4 corners of our right foot are planted down, and then the spine grows up tall out of the hips. Your hands can rest into your chest, or if it doesn't make you feel silly wherever you are, hands can reach brightly up toward the sky in a full version of a Warrior One. Now, ideally with this Warrior One, I would love you to feel like you're getting a big stretch through your sides, through your shoulders, through your chest, and also all the way down this front edge of your hip flexor on your right side. Maybe even a little bit of work into the lunging hip of your left side. Let's stay for 1 more full breath. Good. If your hands are lifted, use an exhale. Bring your hands back down into your chest. What we're going to do is inch our left foot forward, maybe another 6 inches. And then steady through that foot, you're going to turn your right toes to face away. So the heel of your left foot intersects your right arch or draws all the way back to your right heel. Big bend remains in your left knee, so knee stays center over the ankle, and then fingertips are going to reach forward and back in a version of a Warrior Two. A shortened version of a Warrior Two than what we might do in a more moving flow practice, but feel the work coming into your left leg. So strong through the big muscles of your left leg, but getting into the opening of your hips. So both thigh bones are spiraling away, externally rotating. A lift up through your side waist from hips to armpits. And we take one more full body breath. Good. From here, you're going to try to step completely down through your left foot and step up with the right. So again, we're standing to a place where both feet are beside one another. Weight comes down to stand through your right foot, and you're going to step back 1 meter to 1.5 meters with your left. Left toes turn about a 45-degree angle, and we bend through the right knee. So our right knee balances right over our right ankle, and our hands can come to rest in our heart or reach up toward the sky. We're calibrating and pulling hip points to face forward, same direction that our right knee faces. Feeling all 4 corners of our back foot staying connected to the floor. If in any way this twinges the knee or the ankle, step your left foot shorter or a bit wider so you have room to rotate without torquing into the knee. Lift long through your sides so there's space. For those of us that arms are reaching up, reach brightly. Breathe out to the edges of your ribs for 1 more. Good. From here, take your right foot and wiggle it forward another 4 to 6 inches. Pivot on your back foot a bit so your left toes face away, right heel intersects back arch, and our arms spread wide so our chest can open into warrior 2. Legs are externally rotating. We're feeling this work in our hips, drawn down and grounded through our feet as we're lifting up tall through the crown of the head. 1 more big full breath here. Good. When your exhale comes stepping down through your right foot, collect your left foot up to meet it. Take a little pedal. Again, you could do this next portion standing if you didn't have a seat to begin with at all, or if you do have a seat, join me back in that seated place. Friends who are standing, this is going to be a slight bit more work for you, but just take it to the degree that feels right. Both knees softly bent, feet flat to the floor. You're going to lift and to the best of your ability, cross right ankle to the top of left knee. So this is a shape that we do all the time when we're seated, but often when we're seated, we're chatting, we're working, we're changing positions constantly. We're not probably really consciously thinking about what kind of opening or release a shape like this can give to our body. Notice how this feels to your outer hip into the space of your low back. Sit up really nice and tall, and definitely don't put your body into any strain where there is unnecessary pressure or pain anywhere. But if it's feeling available, you might even decide to come down and hold the front of your right ankle and softly allow the knee to begin to drop toward the floor until you really start to get a nice stretch to the outer edge of your right hip. So this seated version of our pigeon can bring up similar sensations that a seated pigeon can, or a full pigeon can, when we're doing a mat practice. For those of us that love the pigeon pose, you could even welcome yourself to fold your forearms and drape forward toward this crossed shin. You could even find yourself folding all the way down so that you're in a more sleeping version of this. Again, we're working to not sickle the right ankle and put pressure in the ankle or the knee, really isolating this into our hip. We're going to stay for 1 more. Good. With your inhale, come and sit up really nice and tall. We're going to continue to cross here. So now we're crossing our right knee over our left. I like to leave mine floating just a little bit. Left hand is going to hold around the front edge of the right kneecap, and we're going to twist and turn our upper body over toward the right side. Now, if you have the added benefit of a chair, as I do, you might even decide to start to use that chair with a little bit of leverage so you can turn and rotate your chest. Same can be said for a park bench or anything else that you might be perched on. The length of our arms is beautifully designed to the length of our spine quite often. Notice your breath as you breathe here. Notice the places that feel sticky in any way. And when your exhale comes, we're going to take a partial twist over toward the left. So right elbow is going to come to the inner edge of right knee and right calf and shin, and we'll twist our chest a little open to the left side this time. Again, continuously lifting up through the crown of the head. And as you exhale, release and turn forward. Release both feet back down to the floor. Give them a little pedal if that feels good, and then change. So we're leaving the right foot flat to the floor and lifting and crossing our left ankle. Sitting up tall and proud for a second, or standing. For those of us that are standing, it's obviously going to be a little bit more work because now we're bringing a lot of work into the standing right leg. So you get a balance and all that fun stuff too. Those of us that are seated and crossed, we're going to use gravity to our assistance a bit more. So our knee starts to rest down toward the earth, starting to bring a little bit more sensation to the outer edge of our hip. Just like pigeon pose on your mat, right and left side aren't going to match. So be very aware and kind. Really witness what's happening as you're going in. And those of us that like to deepen, you can welcome yourself to bring forearms down folded or palms pressed. Some of us are even just going to drape and fold all the way over the front of the shin. Do this in a way that it continues to be loving to your ankle and your knee, and breathe deeply. And stay with it for one more. And sitting up really nice and tall. We know that we can do these poses anytime, but we forget. And so it's really lovely to just take a moment and have somebody else put us through Adult Simon Says and just open ourselves up. Legs continue to come into a cross as we hold right hand to the front of left kneecap or shin. Turn our upper body over toward the left. So first, we twist across the top of the left thigh bone. Maybe or maybe not, you're using the leverage of your seat to help you twist. Your breath should remain wholesome regardless of how deeply it is that you twist. The twist shouldn't impede the breath at all. Okay, keep it whole for one more. Next time you exhale, let's counter twist. We'll come all the way across the front of the left shin and kneecap. Upper body turns toward the right. Good. When your exhale comes, upper body turns forward again. We uncross the legs. And again, if it feels good, give them a little pedal. Exaggerated. Pick up your shoulders with an inhale, and then with an exhale, drop them back and down. If you're comfortable, close your eyes and do that with me twice more. Inhale, lift your shoulders up, and exhale, roll them back and down. One more time, inhale, lift them up. Exhale, roll them back and down. If you're comfortable, close your eyes for a moment. Friends who wear glasses, consider maybe taking your glasses and just placing them on your lap. For those of us seated, we're going to bring our hands out in front of us for a moment and find some friction rubbing our palms together. Rub just like you did in elementary school science to learn how to create heat through friction. And when you feel the heat build, cup your palms over your eyes and absorb that into your body. Take your fingertips and slide them up your forehead until you can find the top edge of your forehead. We'll push a gentle pressure through our finger pads and trace them down the edges of our forehead toward our temple, circulating around the temple with a soft pressure through our finger pads for a moment. Continue to slide your hands down the back of the ear until you might find the little pocket behind your ear that you can push a gentle pressure into, and even maybe a loving tug on your earlobe. Take all 4 finger pads of each hand and come into the pocket of the back of your ear. Softly start to drop your chin down into your chest, and then with a gentle pressure, slide and massage your hands all the way down the length of your neck until you come to the alleys of the muscles of your upper back that connect your neck to your upper back. And just give yourself a moment to press and palpitate into this area. Notice the length and the depth of your breath. We'll be here for about 3 more. Pressing in and massaging into our own upper back as feels right to us. One more whole breath. Good. When your exhale comes, release your hands down to your lap. Palms can face up or down. Lift your chin so it's parallel to the floor, eyes closed if you're comfortable. Take a full body breath in. And an audible exhale. One more full body breath in. And an audible exhale. Crack your eyes open. And go back about your day however it is that you need to. Hopefully a little bit more open, a little bit more clear. Thank you for practicing with me. Namaste.